Hello, Jessica. This is Lisa, and I'm looking over your drawings for week 3, assignment 2. I've zoomed in here on your kitchen elevations, and there are a few things I need to draw your attention to. Obviously, you're missing the profile lines around these drawings, and I haven't sat down and measured them out yet. But let's make sure that we've kind of got them the right length here. I'm going to do the distance command. Come on. Eight foot 5, and that is supposed to be 8 foot 5. Okay, so it looks like you've got things drawn up correctly. You just don't have the profile lines around them, or the outlines around them. And so that's really a pretty easy thing to fix. So, you know, in this case, this line right here, let me escape out of whatever command I'm running. You know, this line right here can be on the elevation, I elevate outline, okay? Because that is coincident with the line, and then, you know, we can make sure there aren't other lines overlapping, and like this one. I'm just erasing a few lines here and go remove this piece that I don't want to erase. Oh, great. Okay. And then I can do match properties. This guy right here, match properties on the clipboard pull down, is the most handy thing ever. So, you know, we can just clean up and get things on the right layer. Once you have one, you can do many very quickly and work from there. Now, one of the things I'm seeing here is that you have a ton of small lines making up these floors and walls, and you don't want to do that. You want these to be a single line running along each of these. There's a lot of reasons for it. I mean, for one thing, if you were drawing it by hand, that's the way you draw it, right? Okay. But the other thing is that it uses less space in your computer because the computer only has to, fillet radius 0. Okay, wait a sec, stop. The computer has to do less calculations to figure out where one line is than 5. So now I'm going to change the radius on the fillet to 0 and do that. And so slowly but surely this whole thing will kind of become you can make that work out pretty easily. Really, I think all this one needs, all this one needs right here is that outline, and it's great. It'll work really nice. It needs that outline, and it needs this cabinet profile drawn in. Okay, right here, that needs to look more like this one, as does this one needs to look more like this one. So that's a good start. You need to apply the thinking you're doing on this base cabinet to these base cabinets. Okay, the way your profile is working here, the way your doors are working here. Oops, you need to add the kick. That's one thing that needs to be here. But the way it's working at the top is exactly what we want to see over here. On this elevation, once again, you've got a bunch of little tiny lines, and that's not the way you want to do this. You want to do it as one line as much as you can. It does make a certain amount of sense, for example, to draw this. I'm just going to offset this this cabinet face, or this door, offset 1.5. This way. Okay, and then I'm going to do this. Okay, now the reason that I would do this way and make this a separate line is think about how this is going to be built. Okay, when they build this, I'm going to extend this other line over here too. When they build this, they will build this as one countertop here that is a separate thing from this countertop over here. And it's okay to represent it that way as well. That makes a lot of sense. But you don't want to have the countertop going over this drawer stack is not a different countertop than the one that the sink fits in. It's one big piece of countertop that they cut holes in for things like the sink. So try to really think about how that goes together. If you want to show them as different lines, I mean, frankly, it is just equally valid to just show that as one big long line going all the way across there. But I appreciate that you're trying to think about it piece by piece, but let's think about it on the right pieces, because the cabinets are very different in that way from these. You need to draw in the dashed lines for your sink here. As I've mentioned to others, you also need to think about, check and see if being on this white elevation layer, oh, well, that's on layer 0, it should be on the white elevation layer, is really going to work for you when you go to print. And the other thing you should do, is go ahead and trim that line out. Now the reason I said okay, good. There for a minute I thought maybe it was exploded, but it's not. How's your dishwasher? Okay, that looks good. So there will come a time when we print out and you're going to want to take a close look at this element right here at your faucets to make sure they're not completely muddy based on line weight. And if they are, you need to step the line weight back. Yeah, okay. So it looks like you're working on your different layers, and it's just taking a little time to get it done. Okay, see, that's on the right layer, and that's on 0. Okay, so these things on the 0 layer need to be, oh, wrong one. Yeah, let's use this. They need to be on the not outline, I believe it's this one. They need to be on the ILFJW layer, which is a white layer too, but it's not layer 0. So make sure that's what they're all on. Other than that, it looks like you're getting caught up and it's coming along nicely. If this had the outlines around it, I really wouldn't have hardly anything to say about it, and this one's pretty close too. So keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.